and welcome to Recovered, a podcast from the Magdalen House, a recovery community for alcoholic women. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization based in Dallas, Texas, and known affectionately by many as Maggie's. In this series, a recovered alcoholic woman active in our community shares her experiences from her recovery journey as she works the 12 steps to achieve sobriety and sustain recovery. With your host, me, Bryn Hansen, a recovered alcoholic and the community manager here at the Magdalen House. Whether you're in recovery yourself, contemplating giving it a try, curious about sobriety, or supporting someone who is, we are so glad that you're here. Thanks for listening. All right. Hello to all of our lovely listeners. I am here today with Nancy McMahon, and we are going to be talking all things community and consistency, and I can't wait for her to share her experience here at the Magdalen House. So Nancy, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about how you got here to Maggie's.
Okay. My name's Nancy McMahon, grateful recovered alcoholic. My sobriety date is June 24th, 2015. I came through the house in 2015. I heard about it through an AA group when I had relapsed, and I'd met a sponsor there, and she got me to Maggie's in 2015.
Yeah, I hear a lot of word of mouth getting people through the doors here. That's great. All right, so before you got to Maggie's, had you learned about the disease of alcoholism?
I had not learned anything about it. I did not consider myself an alcoholic, even though I had alcohol all over the house. I would sneak alcohol. I would blackout drink, but it didn't occur to me I was an alcoholic because I wasn't the person under the bridge with the brown paper bag.
Right.
And I went to a fancy rehab for a month and came back and promptly drank. And then that's when I went to the AA group where I eventually found Maggie's.
And there you learned.
That's where I learned about the disease and about the solution.
Yeah, great. Well, then that just kind of segues right into the consistency of our community here at the Magdalen House. You have been involved since 2015, which is quite a long time. And in all those changes that has happened, what are some things that you have seen that have remained consistent?
I think the main thing that remained consistent is the vision and the programming. I mean, our mission statement is the same as help women achieve sobriety and sustain recovery. And the programming, it's the same. It's 1, 2, 3. It's getting a firm foundation in a woman's early sobriety so that she can get to sustained recovery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so programming has really stayed the same. Leadership may have changed. The women in the house may have changed. Staff may have changed. But program stays the same.
It really does. You know, a woman could go, back out and come back to Maggie's, and she can always know that she can find a meeting at 10, 12, 2:30 and in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows that she's going to get something of the solution whenever she walks back through the door.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3 really is the foundation of our recovery. And we teach it pretty hardcore here. Pretty hardcore. Well, since we moved, because for those who don't know, the Magdalen House resided in an older home that was referred to as Redwood for quite a while. And then we moved to this beautiful new home, Gaston. And did you have any fears about making that change?
I didn't. It was really the community that moved down the street. It didn't really matter where our four walls were. I think God moved with us. I think we moved as a community. We could have moved anywhere. Mm-hmm. We could have moved to the country. We could have moved to another house. But we happened to move here, which is beautiful. But I think our community would have moved anywhere and remained the same.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a huge testament to the community here.
It is
a wonderful community. Yeah. Which you have been in so many different aspects of the community here. You went through the house. I know you volunteered, chair meetings, and then now you're on the board. In each of those roles, have you seen how our mission and vision is carried out?
The mission and vision has remained the same. It's really the community that has grown and had benefited from the things that have remained the same. As a volunteer, I know we really talk to the ladies and say, stay close to the house. Don't, keep coming back. But it's really true.
Yeah.
I came in 2015 and I literally haven't left. And I feel like it's an insurance policy to my sustained recovery.
You'll always know where to go.
Absolutely. Whatever role I'm doing here, Maggie's is so close to my heart.
Yeah. Yeah. How has being a board member, because is that a recent
I'm in my second year.
Second year. Wow.
Just started second year. Yeah.
Okay. So you're seeing a whole new side.
It's more like seeing it from 50,000 feet, You're kind of looking at the really big picture. Because I was really involved with Maggie's women's group for years and different roles there. And now I'm getting to see, I'm so fortunate to get to see this at a whole nother vantage point. And how it really operates. And it's amazing.
Yeah, you get to see other women kind of go through the same journey you went through. And how has that impacted your own personal recovery?
Well, I think when I came into the house, I was, as any of us are, surrounded in chaos, just personal chaos that I created myself.
Absolutely.
And going back to consistency, coming in somewhere that is very consistent, that you can set your clock by it. I think in early sobriety that helped me so much, knowing that I can count on this, knowing I can count on the programming, I can count on everything that goes on at the Magdalen House. As my chaos subsided and things became calm, it was a place of refuge, and I could come here and always count on it.
Yeah, and what does consistency mean to you in recovery? Because I think we hear both, you need to stay consistent, but then you hear that sometimes consistency, or I guess complacement, can be dangerous. So what does consistency mean to you in just recovery?
I think it's good to know what you can count on and not, because I don't live my life in chaos anymore. And that is, I look back on that, and that's just exhausting. And having things consistent, having things in order. I think it's so nice for us because we have lived in chaos for so long. It's just refreshing to be able to come to something like that.
What do you think? Do you have a favorite role you've played here at Maggie's? Sponsorship, volunteer, overnight?
I will say I've never overnighted.
Really?
Yeah. That is one role, I guess my daughter was in junior high when I came through the house, and it's a role I never, for whatever reason, I never did. I love them all. I love everything here. I loved getting to do the retreat. I loved back when we did the garage sales and the bake sales and all the new things that we do now, and just anything that brings the women together. And women who haven't had relationships in so long, you just see their faces light up that they have friends now.
Oh, I know.
And just they have a place to go. They have fun things to do.
Yeah, you hear it all the time. I don't get along with women.
And I never had friends until now. I mean, you really hear that a lot. And just seeing women thrive and just blossom and grow, it's amazing in all aspects of their lives. It's beautiful. And so just wherever you are in the Maggie's, whatever you're doing with the volunteer work or anything, you get to see it once you get on the other side through Next Step. And we didn't have that until, a couple of years ago. And what an amazing thing.
Such a great new addition. It's a change.
Well, it's progress.
Right.
It's us growing too.
Because it's still the same education. Great program. but it's change. Sometimes we can get a little scared of change. I don't know. I, as an alcoholic, can sometimes be in fear of change.
Right. But this is more just growing. I mean, I would have loved to have had that. Instead, we would just go back to Redwood and knock on the door and say, what do you need us to do? And someone will say, well, there's not enough ladies in the house. Can you go clean the upstairs toilet? Like, okay.
The first place I ever volunteered in sobriety was the Magdalen House. And I remember we did some deep cleaning.
Some vacuuming. There's always somebody in there, yeah.
Is it the green carpet?
Or
was it red carpet?
Red carpet.
Red carpet. I remember it was a color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you an alcoholic woman in recovery? At the Magdalen House, we host 12-step recovery meetings 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Whether you're a woman newly sober and wondering where to begin, or you've been in recovery for decades and are looking for other women to connect with, we hope you join us. You can find our meeting schedule and other fellowship opportunities at magdalenhouse.org/meetings.
You know, community is not only a big part of the Magdalen House here. I know it's a big part of personal recovery in the rooms, in the program. How do you see the similarities between Magdalen House community and recovery community?
I learned a long time ago to look at the circle and triangle. And to look at the three sides of the triangle, which are unity, service, and recovery. And when you're feeling a little out of whack, look at your life and look at those three sides of the triangle and see if everything is in balance. You can look at unity as your fellowship, which Maggie's offers that in abundance. Your service, there's so much service work that you can do here. And your personal recovery, you can come to a meeting, you can sponsor someone, you can get closer to your own sponsor. You can do things just to get your circle and triangle back in balance.
Yeah.
And it's easy to just look at that and maybe look at a piece that you're maybe not very complete in, and you can get all of that
in one place.
In one place. I mean, the fellowship, yes, everywhere. The service, it's so easy to go online and volunteer. Just get to a volunteer orientation, and then you can volunteer day and night here. And then your recovery with at least 4 meetings a day. You can join into anything you need, or if you've even been recovered for a while, but really feel like you need to get something more, you can jump into Next Step.
Yeah.
And put it in any time. You don't have to be newly sober to take advantage of that program.
For free.
For free, all of it. So you can really look at your circle and triangle and get it all back in balance here.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great way to our community is so amazing that whenever someone's in their head, I can go to Maggie's. I can get out of myself and go to Maggie's. And that is what we love. And our community, it just shows an outpour of love to everyone who walks in the doors. And I know that we're growing. How has that been to see from 2015 to now? Like, what has that been like to watch this community grow?
It's been amazing to see so many women get involved, and there's so many ways. And, we started when we did that day retreat in 2019, I think, and just the excitement around that, about getting to leave town for the day and be with everyone, and all the women that really want to get involved, want to jump in and do more. And through Maggie's women's group, if they just come to one of the meetups, go online, look at opportunities, join the Facebook group.
Yeah.
There's so many ways. And just to see all the women that actually take advantage of it now is just beautiful.
Yeah, it was my first time at the retreat this last year, and it was just so wonderful.
Yeah.
Which it's coming up October 7th.
Yep.
2023.
4th annual, I guess.
4th. That is so crazy. And then I think we'll have our 3rd annual 4th annual chili cook-off. Things are becoming tradition around here.
And that's what's cool.
Yeah.
Is looking at the new traditions.
Mm-hmm.
I know we had to put some aside when we moved because the bake sale, we did miss that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But it's not so easy here. So do something different.
Yeah.
So we are doing different things.
Yeah. Which I think is a really good application for personal recovery and experiencing change and walking through the fear of things changing and not being how I necessarily would want them, but that change can be good if we allow it.
Right. Good point. Got a lot of plugs in for the Facebook,
for everything.
Sounds like because whenever I'm reading the announcements for my meeting, I always do a little commercial for Maggie's Women's Group. It's like, get on the Facebook as soon as you get out of here. Don't forget.
It's a good plug.
I know. It sounds like my meeting announcements, how I end them. Get on the Facebook page. As soon as you get off, you're on Facebook. Get on Facebook. That's where you find out everything.
Someone was like, I made a Facebook just to be on this group.
I know.
Oh, all right. Nancy, what is one thing, if there's a woman listening out there who just got out of the house or who is struggling, what would you suggest they do?
I would suggest she first go to our website, magdalenhouse.org, and look at the first step options. Look at our next step options. See if one of those is right for her. I would check out the meeting schedules because they are very consistent Monday through Saturday, and the schedule changes up a little bit on Sunday, but she can get here for a meeting any day of the week, 365 days of the year. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I would also, if you're on Facebook, look for Maggie's Women's Group and join that. It's a closed group. It's private. There's a lot of information on there. A lot of women offer opportunities. You'll see even living opportunities. If you're looking for sober living, they'll have openings. A lot of the houses list things on Maggie's Women's Group on Facebook. So definitely start there. Start on our website and go to our Facebook page. And those things would be where I'd start. If you feel like you're a candidate for first step, get on the phone to us for a screening immediately, because you can come as early as that day if there's an opening. That's where I'd start.
Yeah. Lots of good options of starting points. That is how amazing our program growth has been. So many different options. All right, Nancy. Well, thank you so much for coming to talk to us today.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Yes, absolutely. It's been so fun.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we will catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
This has been Recovered, Interviews with Alcoholic Women, hosted by Bryn Hansen and brought to you by the Magdalen House. I'm Kelsey Amos, host of our Studying the Steps podcast series. We hope you enjoyed this podcast. Tune in every Wednesday for a new release from one of our 4 series. To learn more about the Magdalen House and the services we offer, visit magdalenhouse.org or follow us on your favorite social media channels.